In this tutorial, we'll talk about the need and the creation of fishnets. You can see I have Durham County right here, and I'm looking at a map of deer vehicle collisions in Durham County over a certain period of time. Lots of different ways I can map these. I can zoom in, zoom out. I can create some density maps if I wanted to. Other things I might want to do is run quadrant analysis on these, where quadrats are equally sized and spaced squares essentially that are superimposed on the map, where we can do select by location to count the frequency and predict that versus a Poisson or random distribution based on the mean or the average. I have another tutorial on that. There's lots of reasons why we can create fishnets. If we look at our Durham census tracts right here and do some type of spatial join or select by location, you can see that there's going to be more deer vehicle collisions in the northern part of the county or this tract up here for the sole reason that it's larger. And so essentially we're creating spatially neutral polygons that we can count units within. In addition, since these quadrats or these fishnets that we're going to be creating are all the same size, there's no need to calculate density. And so there's a good reason for mapping fishnets, and they also act as basically cells or pixels in which we can collect multiple information because essentially they're going to be vector objects. So the first thing I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go to my analysis, and I'm going to go to my tools, and I'm going to type in the word fishnet right here. So fishnet, and you can see it exists in data management tools. The other thing I need to do is I need to make sure I'm working in state plane. And so I can go back to right mouse click on my data map properties. I want to make sure that it's in state plane. Because if I'm working with other units, especially like degrees or a geographic coordinate system, which are measured in degrees, you're going to run into some major problems when we set these units here. And so you need to be cognizant of the units that we create. And so once we create the fishnet, we're going to create an output feature class, and I'm going to call this Durham Fishnet. I like collecting these as polygons so I can collect information within those. I have a number of different, I can have my fishnet origin right here, but what I want to go down here and do is I have my XY extent. I can just set the extent of all my layers to be this Durham County feature class that I'm looking at here, and you can see it's going to be auto-populated with the northing and easting in feet, and then my fishnet origin right here is going to be in my bottom left, and we'll notice that when it comes out at the end. Next, I'm going to select my cell size width. In theory, I guess I can create rectangles. I want to create squares, and I'm going to set it to be 3,280. That's the number of feet in a kilometer. So we're just going to essentially create 1 kilometer grids right here. And then you can see the opposite corner. And then the final thing I need down at the end is, do I want to create polyline or do I want to create polygon? And if I want to, I can create label points. I'll show what label points look like. It's very rare where I use these. And so make sure we have the correct parameters here. You notice here in the top, left, bottom, and right, these look like state plane units, especially for this part of North Carolina. So you need to be kind of used to some of these units here. And then the extent coordinate system, you can see right here that we are working with state plane coordinate system for the state of North Carolina. I have my points, I have my geometry units. I can change the fishnet coordinate, the origin coordinate if I want to, but for now I'm going to leave these all default. I'm going to click run. You can see that it successfully ran. I'm going to uncheck the label field because you can see it gets really ugly really quickly. But now, I'm going to just drag these on top. But now you can see the fishnet that I've created here. So now, for my deer vehicle collisions, I can go and count the number or the frequency or the density within. And I don't need to worry about calculating density when I work with counties or blocks or zip codes or anything like that because all of these are the same size. So essentially what we're looking at here is a 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer unit here, square unit, that encompass the extent of Durham County right here. And the origin is in the bottom left. And then if I want to run my quadrant analysis specifically for Durham County, we can address some of those issues, the edge effects that we talk about, everything around it, or everything entirely within that. But this is just a short tutorial on how to create fishnets. Very powerful tools, very easy to create. I'd strongly suggest creating the polygon. the polygons. So in addition to being aesthetic tools, they are computational tools as well.